Live from the Titan Soccer Complex on Eastern Florida's Melbourne campus, it's the 2015 NJCAA Division I Women's Soccer Championship Game number 9, with the 5th-seeded Darton State Cavaliers battling the number 4-seed Butler Community College Grizzlies next. The early rains here in Melbourne, Florida have cleared away, and it's a beautiful Day 3 set up here for the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships. Hello and welcome into the broadcast. Thanks for joining us here on NJCAA TV. I'm Nick Grunowitz. Day number 3, it's Moving Day Wednesday as teams look to advance to the Friday semifinals. We have 3 games where the winner advancing will move on and play on Friday here. This Game 1 Pool D, this is one of them, Darton State taking on Butler. Let's head to our player spotlight, those to keep an eye on. It's the goalkeepers. Darton's Krista Moisio, 3 saves in the win over Schoolcraft, giving up a little over a goal a game this year. She's going to try to keep it clean against a Butler team that can really run up the score. For Butler, Jamie Rischenberger, 9 goals allowed in 22 games this season, 17 shutouts. She's been very impressive. How about the starting 11s for both of these teams, all 22 that are going to be down there? Here they are. Rosa Urista Chico, one to keep an eye on for Butler. Picked up a goal in that win over Schoolcraft. The coaches for this matchup, Darton State has Ken Valens at the helm. 16th season for him, the Region 17 Coach of the Year. Adam Hunter has guided Butler to 5 straight tournament appearances. The referees for this matchup down there going to officiate this one are Anya Voigt, Carlton Shakes, and Ronnie Cowan. As we get ready for our opening game of Day 3, game number 9 of the tournament. Winner advances to Friday. Butler against Darton State. Once again, we do thank you for joining us. Darton State in those red jerseys, red shorts. A little bit of a Louisville Cardinal look for them out there. White numbers and white letters as well. And Butler going a little bit of a retro look. They go with the highlighter neon yellow jerseys. Maybe you'd call it green, I guess, with purple shorts and high purple socks. First touch comes out the near side. Butler will control. And we saw both these teams aggressive to start their games. Here comes Urista Chico on the left side. She is bumped off the ball by Darton's Nicole Fisher. Out the touchline, we have our first corner kick of the game. It comes just about 40 seconds in. And Butler will be the ones to handle it. As I mentioned, both these teams coming off victories. They both dispatched of Schoolcraft, who's eliminated from playoff contention. It was a 2-0 win for Darton. We'll tell you about it as this game continues. Here comes the corner kick for Butler. This is a good in-swinger, headed out, controlled at the top of the box by the Cavaliers. One away, though, by those from El Dorado. Swung in, and coming out to make the play for Darton State is Krista Moisio, the sophomore from Finland. Had 3 saves in that victory over Schoolcraft. Darton taking its time, looking to set up the offense. Butler, a little more the aggressor here early on, but Darton State got off to a little bit of a slow start in that game against Schoolcraft. They allowed the Ocelots to hang around for a bit, but then kind of stepped down and finished out that 2-0 win. Butler loses it out the near side. Madison Zimmer couldn't steer it inbounds. And we'll see Darton State toss it in. This is Nicole Fisher, local from Melbourne, Florida. The freshman went out to play in Albany, Georgia. This ball bouncing out towards the goal, and Jamie Rischenberger will take care of it. She has had a spectacular season, Rischenberger. 6 saves in the win over Schoolcraft, 17 shutouts this year. Fans wanted a handball there against Darton. Haley Knowles very close to maybe touching that ball. This one comes out the near side, and Nicole Fisher will toss it in. Wait a moment, we have our first substitution, is it, of the game? Yes. And we'll see Fisher take his seat. Coming in, Laura Valcourt for Darton. So Ken Valens bringing out the defender, Nicole Fisher, in favor of a forward, Maggie Van Heusen. Make that Laura Valcourt, pardon. Here comes Darton. Swung back. This is Maidman. Vieira. Little punch on one touch. That's Kelly Hofius. Keep an eye on her. She's a real goal scorer. This ball into the box, headed up. Loose to the left. And the kick is blocked. Britt Evans trying to send that one in, but the back line of Butler standing up. Nicely played, and it's cleared away. And this a long ball. Eurista Chico trying to turn it into something for the Grizzlies, and it's turned away by the Cavaliers. Head coach Ken Valens starting this game with 3 forwards, but he brought in a 4th just moments ago. Hofius, Britt Evans, Danny Weyer, and now Laura Valcourt out there. This one skewed away. Butler with their 3 scoring forwards, Colleen Howland, Rosa Eurista Chico, and Paige Akey. Make that Aki. Sent up to the top of the box. Haley Knowles controls. A little bit of room for her. She's going to send this one forward. It'll roll out the near side. They were looking for Weyer, couldn't find her. This throw-in will go to Butler. Madison Zimmer to key it in. Rosa Eurista Chico is battling for it, but this one turned away by Knowles. That back line, Caroline Vieira. And early on, both of these teams starting to get into a rhythm. Butler a day off yesterday. They played on day 1 Monday against Schoolcraft, a 3-0 win. That game not close on the scoreboard in terms of shots. It was 13-11. Butler outshot the Ocelots. But it was the play of Jamie Rischenberger that kept Schoolcraft off the board. One of 5 shutouts we saw in the first 5 games of this tournament. Rischenberger 6 saves in that one. We saw goals from Rosa Eurista Chico, who had the ball a moment ago. Here's a shot from Hofius that's partially blocked. Ball into the top of the box, recontrolled by Weyer. She's looking to turn the corner and has it knocked away. Out to Vieira. Battling a defender. This one knocked off of Vieira. It's a race to that touchline, and were they able to knock it off the defender? No, looks like this one will go to Butler. I want to say that was Haley Knowles that was standing down there. Correction, it was Madison Zimmer who was standing down there trying to box out Caroline Vieira and wait for that ball to roll out. The official says that it did. Eurista Chico, middle of the pitch. Settled by Aki. Back to Eurista Chico. Sent on ahead, shooting for Howland. That one rolls by her. Correction, Jacqueline Means just able to flick it forward, but no one there. And Moisio comes out to play it. When you looked at this matchup on paper and the 2 goalkeepers that were playing here this morning, you got the feeling maybe the first ball to find the back of the net might be the difference. Moisio and Rischenberger for Darton and Butler have both been nearly perfect this season. 10 shutouts for Moisio, 17 for Rischenberger, 27 combined. That is some good goalkeeping. Quality work. Ball out the near touchline. Valcourt to toss it in. Pushed off the ball is Wade. But Darton State wins it again. Valcourt and Vitico knocking it around. It ends up back towards Moisio. Maidment going to go on a little run here. Two defenders blanket her. Maidment sending this one ahead. No one in the vicinity. Ball may have made its way out of bounds first. It did. It'll be a throw-in on the far side. These Butler College Grizzlies hail from El Dorado, Kansas. They make the trip here to Melbourne, Florida. It's a little under a 1,500-mile voyage. 1,467 miles by car. By flight, it's just an annoying day of working through security and then sitting in a small tube. But hey, they're here to win a national championship, their 5th straight appearance. I'm sure if you asked anyone, it's a nice travel as well. The weather has been beautiful. A little bit of rain this morning, as you can see, some cloud coverage. Here's a long ball. Eurista Chico able to flick it ahead to herself, trying to navigate her way through a couple of defenders. This ball into the box, and it's deflected out the touchline, cleared away by Darton's Haley Knowles. Rosa Eurista Chico on the run there, looking for her 19th goal of the year and her 2nd of the tournament, but couldn't quite negotiate her way into enough room in the box. Knowles able to step in and punch that one out. The kick from Moisio. Valcourt plays it well. Gets a step. Zimmer hits the floor. Make that Aki. And a foul call. This will go against Butler. And a free kick for Darton State. See who will handle this. I believe Haley Knowles will. She does it for the most part. Another local to this Melbourne location. Haley from Tampa, Florida. Just on the other side of the state. This ball sent in, top of the box. Flicked in. Loose and cleared out by Butler. But Darton ends up with it. Coming to the near side, this is Honorstieg. She lost it. Valcourt settles. Once again sent back in, and Butler able to control. They shoot for Eurista Chico. That doesn't happen. Darton able to take control. Weyer, correction, make that Wade. Valcourt sending it in, shooting for Hophius. Weyer there on the backside of the box, and Butler able to force that one out. We have another substitution at this dead ball. Danny Maidment will take a seat. Coming in is Nicole Fisher. Vieira to toss it in. That ball knocked out, last touched by a red jersey. It'll go back to Butler. And the newcomer, Nicole Fisher, boots that one out of bounds. Darton will play it back to Moisio, who settles. Aki running at her, and she'll boot it back towards the middle of the pitch. Weyer settles. Defender on her back. Nicely played there to Vitico. Up ahead. They look for Hophius coming out. Reichberger misplayed it. Hophius with the left-footed shot, and it is wide. Rischenberger nearly made a costly error there as she slid out, and as I mentioned, it had been raining earlier today. Maybe the ball slick. She couldn't quite settle it down, and Hophius had a chance there to put it in the back of the net. Let's take another look as Rischenberger comes out and just misplayed it, and the shot wide. Missed opportunity for Darton early, just about 12 minutes into the first half. Butler looking to counter. This is Jacqueline Means. She circles, waiting for some help. Means up top, had it knocked away nicely. Here comes Darton on the break. Vieira has it knocked away. Ball goes to Butler. Looking for Eurista Chico. That one too tall. Moisio will collect. I mentioned the long trip for Butler. A little under 1,500 miles. It was the exact opposite for these girls from Darton State. The Cavaliers from Albany, Georgia. A 360-mile trip here to Melbourne, Florida. A little over 5-hour drive. It's a nice little weekend vacation for them as they try to come away with this national championship. Sent on ahead, they're looking for Aki. Is she on sides? Yes, they say. Valcourt looking to run her down. The shot, a roller, jumped on by Moisio. Aki couldn't get much on that. Page quiet in that win over Schoolcraft a couple of days ago. The freshman from Wichita, Kansas, 19 goals this season. Here's Fisher. Moisio once again to clear this ball away. Hofius trying to play it up the sideline, steers it in bounds, but Butler there to make a kick. Eurista Chico ruled offside. She was behind the defender. Be a free kick for Butler. After the win on Monday, the Grizzlies 20-game winners this season, 20-2. Darton State picked up their 16th win yesterday, that victory over the Ocelots. 16-2 are the Cavaliers. Ball punched in, sent down towards the touchline, and it's going to roll out. The win today, we've mentioned the wind quite a bit during this tournament. Not blowing across the field as much as it has been. A couple of substitutes in for Darton State. Haley Kinchala in, as well as Maggie Van Heusen, the sophomore from Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Quite a few Florida natives on this Darton State roster. 7 of them that hail from the Sunshine State. Ball flicked ahead by Kinchala. Like that Vitico. Ball at midfield as it's battled for and sent ahead. Hofius out there. Butler looking to run it down. And the Grizzlies control. That's Colleen Howland looking up ahead. And her long pass is going to be out that touchline. The wind blowing from right to left across your screen, a little bit across the field as well from the far sideline to the near sideline, so kind of just a cross breeze that we're seeing. It means any ball played long, which would be forward for Butler, so right to left, it's going to have a little extra something on it. Moisio kicking slightly into the wind just to go along with that. Aki plays that back immediately. It's cleared away by Darton. Eurista Chico making a run at it. Couldn't quite get there. Header for Butler. Nicely controlled here by Darton State. That was Van Heusen played well. Jenna Wade, the Milton, Florida native. And it's punched out this near side. Valcourt will toss it in for the Cavaliers. Darton State Region 17 champions, earning them a spot to play here in the national championship. Ken Valen's their head coach, is the Region 17 Coach of the Year. He's seen this team make it to the final day of this tournament twice. Has not come away with the championship yet. Darton State has lost in the national final a pair of times, 2005 and 2008. Moisio controls for the Cavaliers. Butler controls at the far side. Back to the middle of the pitch. Something cooking here for the Grizzlies. Left-footed shot knocked down. Moisio with the save. That one played well in there by Butler. Jacqueline Means with the shot. Vitico the header. Wade tried to control. This one sent ahead. Look out here for Eurista Chico. That one took an unfortunate bounce. Now this one out. Aki making a run at it, but Moisio comes out and makes a play. Eurista Chico hits the turf. She's slow to get up, but is on her way back towards the middle of the pitch. Flicked ahead by Darton State. Butler beginning to win the field position battle here as they've started to pressure a bit more. Jenna Wade trying to change that, looking to turn the corner. The back line of Butler, Madison Zimmer controls, but not before a foul was called. Haley Knowles to power this one in. They line up on the top of the box. Kicking into the wind a bit. Knowles' right-footed line drive bends out towards the far side. Vitico trying to flick it into the box. Couldn't do it, and it's cleared away by Butler. Vieira of the Cavaliers surveying. Tries to feed it inside. Darton State ends up with it. Sent in. Headed back. And once again back out. Butler's defense playing very well through the first 24 and a half, make it 19 and a half minutes here. This ball near the backside of the box, it's cleared away. This will result in a corner kick for Butler. Make that for Darton State. Butler clearing it away. Amy Straith doing that. This will be the first corner kick for Darton State. We've seen one for Butler as well. It'll be from the far corner. Jenna Wade will handle it. Correction, that's Joanna Annerstieg wearing the number 5, not 6. Annerstieg from Stockholm, Sweden. Here's the corner kick. Sent in, well played. This a header near the back of the box. Rischenberg hits the turf and she dives on top of it. Another well-played ball by Darton State. Rischenberg able to jump on top of it. The header nearly sent it into the box. Let's take another look at this one. Annerstieg's corner, very nicely played. Vitico, the header. Also, Wade got a touch on it as well, and Rischenberger just got enough. She stood up twice to some pressure. It remains a scoreless game. Aki looking to make a run. Trying to get around the defender. Nicely played. Trying to center it. Will knock it off the defender. That's Knowles. And Butler will have its second corner kick of the half. This game 1 of day 3. Moving day Wednesday of the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championship. Winner of this game will move on to Friday's semifinal. Both Butler and Darton 1-0, wins over Schoolcraft in Pool D. Ball sent in. It's long. Loose out the back. Moisio able to jump and deflect it at least, and Wade will send it away. Butler runs it down. Substitution for Darton. Britt Evans will check in. Hofius will take a seat. Let's take another look at that last corner kick sent in and went just over the head of Moisio. Butler had a chance if they could try to redirect that in, but Darton State's defense able to clear it out. Here's Vitico. The right side, they look for Maggie Van Heusen, and Darton clears it out. Up ahead, Valcourt making a run to the near side. Can she run it down? Yes. Surveying. Looking ahead, got a step on the defender for a moment, but nicely played by Madison Zimmer to take control. Valcourt able to regain. Butler there with some help. This one out to Van Heusen. She centers. It's squared out by the Butler defense. Vitico. Knowles will play it back on the defensive side of midfield for Darton State, and they'll clear it to Moisio, who comes out. Trying to play it to the center. This ball headed, and Eurista Chico is well off sides. .21:44 left, first half, scoreless game. Both goalkeepers have been tested early. Both have stood up to those tests. We've mentioned throughout the broadcast it is going to feel maybe like the first ball to make it into the back of the net is going to, well, it's going to be paramount. Of course, it always is when you take a lead, but with the way these goalkeepers play, one might be enough. At the top of the box, Vieira jumps on it, and Butler wants a handball. They get it. So Vieira whistled for that, and this will be a good opportunity for the ladies from El Dorado. A free kick near the top of the box. Let's see where they put it. It looks like Rosa Eurista Chico is going to be the one to handle it. Had a goal in that win against Schoolcraft. Eurista Chico lines it up, a wall of 4 Cavaliers in front of her. As they wait, Moisio waits as well. 18 goals this season for Eurista Chico, looking to make it 19 and give her team an early 1-0 lead. Here's the whistle. This one lofted in well high. That one not even close. 4 new substitutes to check in for Butler. Emily Woods, Amy Straith, Jessica Quezada into the game. Also in is Lauren Allen. She scored in that win for Butler over Schoolcraft. Picked up her 12th goal of the year. Darton State with possession. This is Vieira across midfield. Knocked away by Butler. Grizzlies control. This is Allen. Eurista Chico playing on that right side now, sent into the box. This one controlled. That was knocked away, and Lauren Allen is off sides. As I mentioned, this game 1 of 4 today, Darton State and Butler. Immediately following this one, Lewis and Clark and Iowa Central will play. The winner of that game will not necessarily move on. Lewis and Clark losers yesterday. Here's another chance for Lauren Allen, and she runs at it. Moisio comes out and makes a play at the top of the box. That wind really picking up now, blowing in the face of Moisio as she kicks this one away. Near midfield. And Darton had it for a moment. Back to Butler here. Here come the Cavaliers. Britt Evans letting it roll, trying to play that ball out the side. She regains. Now it's a run towards the touchline. Zimmer battling Evans. And it's cleared back up the near side. Controlled by Butler for a moment. Sent over. Now some numbers perhaps for Butler. Looking ahead, this one to the middle of the field. Lauren Allen making the run, and Moisio will clear it out. Ball over the head of Wade. Zimmer knocked down. Ball out the near side. Zimmer wanted a foul call, but first a substitution. Vitico will take a seat. In for Darton State is Kelly Hofius, the sophomore from Spring Lake, Michigan. Wade sends to the far side. Ball deflected. Vieira out there near the sideline will center it in. This ball just right of the box and will roll out. They were looking for Maggie Van Heusen, Britt Evans in there as well. Neither could get to it. It's a goal kick for Butler. I mentioned the game immediately following this one. Lewis and Clark and Iowa Central. Lewis and Clark had a 1-0 lead over Laramie yesterday. Allowed 3 in the second half, so now Lewis and Clark needs a win and some help. They got to win by enough to clear the goal differential to advance. Monroe will play Tyler in Game 3 today. Another long ball. This one out the sideline. They'll give it to Butler. Our final game of the day will be Pima, the 8th seed against top overall seed Eastern Florida. Ball into the top of the box. This one sent over far side. Maybe a chance for Butler. Played right in at the top. This one guided in. Right inside the box. It's a goal for Butler College. Lauren Allen picks up her second goal of the tournament. And Butler has a 1-0 lead. This one sent in and on the run to the net. That's Allen who's able to put it right in. Coming over, Moisio was trying to make a play to the right, and it was just a well-directed kick, and Lauren Allen able to give her team a 1-0 lead. So Darton State now trailing with a little under 16 minutes to go here in the first half. Allen, as I mentioned, her 13th goal of the year, second of the tournament. She had one in that victory over Schoolcraft on Monday. Long ball as they look ahead for Kinchala. This one on the sideline. Well played by Eurista Chico. Good footwork. She rolls this ball into the box. Butler controls here. Just to the left. Defender hits the dirt. Here's the shot. Moisio diving, and it is deflected back out to the top, and Wade able to clear it away. Butler's Jessica Quizada with a shot there, and it was just saved by Butler. Quizada, it's a handball. Correction, they'll call that a foul. Let's take a look at that last save. It could be 2-0 right now. Quizado. Vieira hits the dirt. Moisio, I don't know if she got a hand on it at all. I think that was the backside defender, which was Nicole Fisher, that was able to clear it. But here's a free kick again for Butler. In good territory, Eurista Chico once again will handle it. The last time she sailed it over the top of the goal. This time a good bender. Moisio will knock it down and handle it. That goal allowed by Krista Moisio, the 16th this year in 17 games. Correction, I'm being told now it was not a goal. She was ruled offsides. I'm sorry. So this game remains scoreless. For the second time, what looked to be a goal is ruled not one. And Lauren Allen does not have a 1-0 lead for her Butler team. Excuse me, I thought that was 1-0. But it stays a scoreless game. We'll show you that one more time in just a moment here. That look, I thought that Lauren Allen was on sides. But she was not. Butler controls here. So this remains a 0-0 game with a little under 14 minutes to go. And I must have been the last one to notice this. So we'll take a look at it because this must be why. Here's on the right side, Allen there. And yes, she was offsides. She was behind that last defender. I thought there was one more there, but she was behind that back defender and easily punched it in. Maybe that's why everyone in the press box was looking at me like I was crazy. I thought that That was an easy goal for Butler, but they don't come that simply, I guess, in the national tournament. It remains a scoreless game with under 13 minutes to go. Darton State controls. Butler knocks it away. Knowles will redirect. Ball played to that far side and back out and long. Here's Jenna Wade. Darton State looking for a chance here. Wade run off the ball. Butler looking to clear it out. They do. Eurista Chico has Allen in front of her. She's going to send this one long. This could be a chance for Lauren Allen. She's on sides this time to chip it. Moisio, a nice diving stop. This ball still loose up high. Valcourt heads it away. Quezada trying to redirect. It falls down. Butler still will try to send it into the box. Couldn't do it. This ball out to the near side here. Eurista Chico will collect. Nicely done. Working to her right, now back left. Good step, tried to find a little bit of daylight, couldn't do it. The left-footed kick is redirected. Once again, Lauren Allen on a nice run here. Moisio coming out. Here's a good look. Just need that one away. Good slide by Krista Moisio to pick up the save. Allen sends it into the left side of the box. Knowles there to send it up the near side. Flicked back by Butler. Kinchala got a foot on it. And Butler will work it around the back line. Eurista Chico. They're going to call her offsides. It'll go back to Darton. Long ball, Zimmer heads forward. Settled by Allen. Dropped back, a played ahead. This one for Quezada, she's offsides. Butler continuing to try to make some runs behind these defenders. Another offsides call. And Dalia Fernandez didn't like it. She was looking at the side official, thought that that was an onside play. Here comes Darton. Sent in, touched once by Van Heusen. Butler able to knock it away. Madison Zimmer collects. Van Heusen closes in on her. Mistouched. This one sent in. And once again, this Butler defense, a little aid of the wind as well. When you have that wind blowing into your face, it's a whole nother thing to deal with as well. Here comes Eurista Chico. This sent in Quezada. Ruled offsides. 3 or 4 times now in a row there's been an offsides call against this Butler team, and they continue to try to push the envelope, but Quezada offsides there. Jessica, sophomore from Wichita, Kansas. Allen looking for Fernandez. It ends up with Eurista Chico. This one sent ahead. Allen on the run, but Moisio will easily beat her to it. 8:48 left, first half, scoreless game in game 1 of our 3rd day of play. The NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships. We appreciate you joining us here on NJCAA TV. I'm Nick Grunowitz in Melbourne, Florida. Another offsides call to go against Butler. Eurista Chico playing deep that time. Will be another long day of soccer here today. 4 games on our slate. Will be 12 in 3 days when we're all done. We want to remind you Select Sports is proud to be the official match ball of the National Junior College Athletic Association. Select Super FIFA match ball is used exclusively at all NJCAA soccer championships. Select Sport, inspired by history, but designed for the future. That's Select Sport Super FIFA match ball tossed in for Butler, giving chase. Fernandez, she couldn't quite get there. This ball rainbowed up. And another touch by Vieira. You can see that wind definitely having an effect on this Darton State offense. Have to work a little bit harder, of course, than Butler to matriculate it down the field with that heavy wind blowing into their face. Sent around, a little miscommunication there. Darton able to get a hold of it. This is Evans trying to make a turn. Van Heusen to her right. She'll collect as Evans hits the turf. They say play on. Van Heusen to Evans. Touches it back to Van Heusen. This one shot out the near side. Erica Guernsey played that one well to stop the attack. 3 new substitutes in for Darton State. Danny Weyer, Vera Vitico, and Danny Maidment will check in for Darton. Holfius and Van Heusen sit down, as well as Haley Knowles. Toss in. Valcourt. Wade hit the turf on that 50-50 ball. Once again, it's cued out. We'll go back to the girls in the red jerseys from Albany, Georgia. Darton State, the 5 seed. Butler College, the 4 seed. Wade working on Zimmer. Looking to make the turn. Deflects it off Zimmer. It's a race to the touchline. She's able to save it to avoid the corner, but Darton recollects. Sent into the box, right side. Headed up, 2 heads and a chest. And Butler able to send it out the near side. Allen unable to steer that one back in and perhaps start a break for the Grizzlies. Valcourt. Wade settles. Valcourt looking to chip that one back, and once again, Butler spoils that. Ball into the top of the box. Eurista Chico. 1 touch, looking to try to get to Quezada, who's on the run on that far side. It's sent back to Moisio. Battle for it at midfield. Eurista Chico trying to make a play. Here comes Vitico. Fisher trying to get it to Valcourt. She sent it out the near side. 4.5 minutes left, first half. Scoreless game. Winner advances to Friday's semifinal here from Pool D. Darton State and Butler, both winners over Schoolcraft in these 3-team pools. Eurista Chico looking for Quezada. That one punched ahead for Darton. And up the near side, it's a throw-in for Butler. We'll see Zimmer handle it. Through the first 2 days of this tournament, we've only seen 1 upset, that a lower-seeded team beating a higher-seeded team. That was 10th-seeded Laramie beating 6th-seeded Lewis and Clark 3-1 yesterday. Rolling ball picked up by Moisio. Eurista Chico making a run at her, couldn't quite get there. Aside from that, it's all been what you would call chalk through the first 2 days. Today, the top 8 seeds all play each other. Knowles will play it back to Moisio. She sends it out. Zimmer waits for it. Tries to settle. Fernandez couldn't quite get to it. Weyer, a little bit of room here for Danny Weyer. Kinchala to her right. Will she play it that way? No, Weyer will stick with it. Looking to turn the corner. Her shot wide right. Danny Weyer from Fort Walton Beach trying to will that one inside the right upright, couldn't do it. And a substitution for Darton State. Let's take a look at that one more time. As Sydney Bishop checks in, Weyer working to her right. I thought she'd drop that one back to Kinchala, just couldn't steer it in. Couldn't quite get the angle she wanted. And Rischenberger will kick it away. Vitico has it partially blocked. Bishop there, couldn't settle it. And Butler takes control. Lauren Allen. It's sent ahead. Moisho playing up near the top of the box will wait for it and quickly try to get it back into play. She comes back to the middle of that box. 2-minute mark, first half, scoreless game. If you're just joining us, for a minute it looked as if Butler had taken a 1-0 advantage. Lauren Allen had an open look at the goal on a ball crossed to her, but she was deemed offsides. I would claim it wasn't an apparent ruling from the officials, but that would just be covering for myself because it took me about 3 minutes to notice that it was not a 1-0 game. The Butler team celebrated for a few moments, but this remains a scoreless game. Butler and Darton, the 4-5 seeds in this 12-team national championship tournament. Ball sent along. Headed up by Fernandez. And out the far touchline. That was Vieira that hit the dirt. 60 seconds left. First half. Weyer. Vitico sending it along. Kinchala there, but Zimmer able to steer it away right to Vitico. She's on the attack. Looking to turn it away, looking to turn the corner there, couldn't do it. And Vieira will recollect it. 40 seconds to go. Maybe one last push here from the Cavaliers as they look to take an advantage into halftime. 35 seconds to go. Vieira at the top. Evans has it cleared away. Grizzlies played out. That's Lauren Allen. And it's sent out the far side. 21 seconds left. Throw in for Butler. Walking a little bit too far there is Quezada. 10 seconds to go. The throw in controlled and iced away by Darton. And that will take us to the end of our first half. An entertaining 45 minutes to start things up. We thought it was 1-0. It remains scoreless as we head into halftime. 5th-seeded Darton, 4th-seeded Butler. We'll talk about it during the half. You're watching the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships on NJCAA TV.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Recently, the Eastern Florida State College women's basketball team held its media day to kick off the new season. Third-year head coach Jim Grimes looks to build upon last season's success.
Well, going to the state tournament last year was a big accomplishment for our program. It had been many years since we were able to do that. Really, the best thing about it was the experience that we were able to gain. So the returning players have already been where we want to be this year, and so that's going to really help us moving forward. As far as our expectations for this season, they're similar to what they were going into last season. You know, we want to have steady improvement. I want to see daily development in the team, and hopefully we can do even more than we did last season. Well, I've been very pleased with how the team has come together. Our chemistry seems to be good. I think this summer really helped us. We didn't have that in past years. We spent a lot of time together this summer. So I think we're far ahead in terms of our chemistry.
Well, we're going to bring a lot of energy this year, a lot more athleticism. It's going to be fun to watch us play. We got a lot of shooters, Emma, Paola. We have Trudy Walker and Kenya coming in, pushing the pace. It's going to be exciting to watch us play this year.
We're very athletic compared to last year. Like, we can go, last year we couldn't go full court. This year we can go full court D and everything with no problem. Like, very athletic team.
My expectations are pretty high. I'm very excited. I'm very blessed to be here. It's a great opportunity for me to play for Eastern Florida. It's a great program. I'm really excited to be here. It's a great school, great teammates, great professors, great athletic program. So I'm really excited, and my expectations and hopes are high. I think we're gonna focus on what we need to do, and I think we're gonna do it.
Admission is free, so check the college website for the next home game and come out and support your Titans.
They're going to see a team that plays really hard. They're going to see a team that cares about each other. They're going to play together. And hopefully they're going to see a team that makes really good decisions.
Well, I would tell you, you think last year was something? Wait till you see this team.
Titan Madness was in the air as the annual event launched the 2015-2016 season for the men's and women's Titans basketball teams. The night began with a skills competition, pitting Titans players against one another in a display of sharpshooting from all over the court. Then it was nothing but net for the men and women as they showed off their shooting prowess in the three-point shooting contest. The Titans men and women then took to the court to face off in the co-ed scrimmage. Finally, the high-flying Titans dazzled the crowd with gravity-defying jams in the crowd favorite dunk contest. This year, the talented men's team looks to continue its success behind three-time reigning FCSAA Southern Conference Coach of the Year, Jeremy Schulman. Coach Jim Grimes leads the Lady Titans team as they look to repeat as FCSAA Southern Conference champs. Admission to all Titans games is free, so check the schedule for the next home game and come out and support your Titans.
We've reached halftime of our first game here on day 3. Pool D play, 5th-seeded Darton State and 4th-seeded Butler College are scoreless. As we welcome you back into the broadcast, thanks for joining us here on NJCAA TV, our coverage of NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships. I'm Nick Grunowitz. It was an entertaining first 45 minutes of this ball game. Had a couple of exciting moments. Let's take a look at it. And for both of these teams, it was missed opportunities. Kelly Hofius after a misplay from Rischenberger, and then Butler a couple of chances, but the two goalkeepers have really made this one stand up. Rischenberger diving on top of that one, a header from Jenna Wade, a corner kick from Butler, and this one nearly ends up in the back of the net. Vitico trying to beat Moisio. And then a long ball here, Lauren Allen, and Moisio once again coming out. Krista Moisio played very, very well. And then this, the moment of the first half. On a crossing ball, Lauren Allen looked to have the first and only goal of that first half. But you look once again, Moisio make that Allen ruled offsides behind that last defender, Nicole Fisher, who's behind her. And you see the reaction on Lauren Allen's face. They thought it was a goal. Ruled that it wasn't, and after 45 minutes, it's a scoreless ball game, Darton State and Butler College. We do thank you for joining us here on NJCAA TV. A couple of the first half stats in this one. Butler's offense out-edging Darton just a bit, 6 shots to 3 only 3 corner kicks. 2 of them go to Butler in that half. But maybe a bit of a look at the way the Grizzlies are going to attack things offensively in this second half. The offsides penalty. We saw the big one of that first half. It was Lauren Allen called off, taking a goal off the board, but 8 of them to the Grizzlies in the first 45 minutes. They continue to take shot after shot down the field, and the Grizzlies coming up empty in this one. For Darton, about midway through that first half, you got the feel that they kind of played back a little bit defensively, trying to stave off a couple of these Butler attacks, but they did have their chances. You saw the Kelly Hofius opportunity on a ball misplayed by Jamie Rischenberger, and as well Jenna Wade and Vieira Vitico have had their chances. Vitico almost a header into the goal on that cross that you saw as well. And the girls from Albany, Georgia, right in this one. As I mentioned, this being Pool D play, both these teams 1-0. They beat Schoolcraft in their first game Monday for Butler, Tuesday, just 24 hours ago for Darton. So the winner of this game will move on and advance to play in Friday's semifinal game. Then they'll look to try to move on to Saturday's championship game. You take a look at Darton State, what they've been able to do in that first half. As I mentioned, the 3 shots. For them, they're going to have the wind to their back in this second half. That was a storyline in the first, the wind blowing to the north side of the field from south to north, which was to the back of Butler. They were able to move the ball a little bit easier, and maybe that's what led to some of those offsides, as well as they played the ball a little bit deeper than they wanted to. But you saw Darton, it did affect the way that they played in the first 45 minutes, and now with the wind at their back, you might see a little bit more offense from this Cavaliers team that came in after a 2-0 win. They were 9th in the nation in goals scored, 84 in the regular season, had another pair in that victory over the Ocelots just a day ago. So this should be a very entertaining finish, and the thing to keep an eye on as well, the goalkeepers. That was our theme coming into the game. Krista Moisio of Darton State has not allowed a goal yet. 10 shutouts this season. We thought she allowed one, but it was ruled offsides. Jamie Rischenberger leads the nation in shutouts after taking care of Schoolcraft on Monday. She has 17 this year, had 6 saves in that win as well against the Ocelots. So maybe the first ball to make its way to the back of the net will be the difference in this one, and whoever scores it against either one of these goalies should probably keep the ball, because it doesn't happen often against either one of these goalkeepers. 45 minutes to go. Winner to semifinal Friday. Should be entertaining. We return with second half action in just a few moments, live from Melbourne on the east coast of the Sunshine State. It's day 3 of the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships. You're watching the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships on NJCAA TV.
Titan Madness was in the air as the annual event launched the 2015-2016 season for the men's and women's Titans basketball teams. The night began with a skills competition, pitting Titans players against one another in a display of sharpshooting from all over the court. Then it was nothing but net for the men and women as they showed off their shooting prowess in the three-point shooting contest. The Titans men and women then took to the court to face off in the co-ed scrimmage. Finally, the high-flying Titans dazzled the crowd with gravity-defying jams in the crowd favorite dunk contest. This year, the talented men's team looks to continue its success behind 3-time reigning FCSAA Southern Conference Coach of the Year, Jeremy Schulman. Coach Jim Grimes leads the Lady Titans team as they look to repeat as FCSAA Southern Conference champs. Admission to all Titans games is free, so check the schedule for the next home game and come out and support your Titans.
Eastern Florida State College. This is where you discover new opportunities, where you pursue your dreams, and careers take flight. Apply now for new bachelor and associate degree programs in business, healthcare, computer technology, and other growing fields. Eastern Florida, where Titans rise. Apply today.
Recently, the Eastern Florida State College men's golf team held its 2015 Fall Media Day. Head coach Jamie Howell will need to prepare his players for an ambitious fall schedule that sets the stage for the spring championship season.
Your fall season just gives you an idea of who you are. You know, here's what we're capable of doing, here's where we need to improve, and then you make sure you don't try to do things you're not capable of at this time. So the big issue for me is just letting things play themselves out. You know, literally have the guys prepare and go play at each event and see how we do. You're not going to win if you don't have talent, and even more, you need some chemistry to go with it. So you're looking for guys that are going to fit together. I don't expect them to be best friends forever, but I expect them all to be on the same page, and if we all strive for the same goals, we'll do just fine, even filling those slots every year.
I see a positive being that we are young, but we're eager to build up on experience, eager to build up on being in the heat of the moment like last year. But it's going to be tough, and the positives we have is that Nationals is home. It's not traveling anywhere, and we're going to feel a little more comfortable being around, Brevard County instead of traveling to Kansas or Texas.
Well, I've heard obviously a lot about this program. Obviously, they've got a great history, and obviously being in America, it's great weather, and I feel like coming over here, I'll be able to excel in my game and compete with great players. We have some good sophomores in the team, very good, and if I can learn of what they've done over the last year, it might help me in the next few months developing as a golfer.
Sometimes you feel a little target on your back when you go to tournaments, but like golf is, you can't expect anything. Anybody can win on any given day, and I think that's going to be one of the things we're going to have to learn this year is we've lost a couple of players that really helped us last year, but we're going to be replacing them this year with some good freshmen.
So check out the Eastern Florida State College website and come out and support your Titans.
We're going to try to repeat or if not do better. I mean, the goal is always to win, regardless. I didn't come here to get second place, and I don't think any of the guys did either.
We're ready for second half action in Melbourne, Florida. Fifth-seeded Darton State and fourth-seeded Butler College scoreless after the first 45 minutes of play. The winner of this match advances to Friday's semifinal here in the national tournament. Hello and welcome into the broadcast. We appreciate you joining us here. Our coverage of the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships on NJCAA TV. I'm Nick Grunowitz. We are just about ready for second half action. Darton in the red jerseys and red shorts, outshot in that first half by Butler, 6-3. But they have the wind to their back as this second half will get started. They'll move from right to left on your screen. Butler normally in purple in those highlighter yellow, highlighter green, whatever you want to call the jerseys with purple shorts, high purple socks. They'll move from left to right. So once again, the winner of this one will advance. Should be an entertaining one. We saw Butler dominate that first half in terms of shots and offsides penalties. They had 8 of them, including one that took a goal off the board. Lauren Allen snuck behind the defense, got fed a crossing ball, and ushered it into the back of the net, but it did not count. And this game remains scoreless. Dalia Fernandez out there to start out this second half. She did not start the first. As Butler sends this one ahead. Rosa Urista Chico on the run for it, and that ball out the near sideline. It's going to be a toss for Butler. This game 1 of 4 today. 3 of the 4 games we'll see today. The winner will automatically be sent to Friday's semifinal because both teams are undefeated. 50-50 ball. Valcourt able to push it ahead, and it's played back for Hophius. Weyer. She got a rare start in this one. Also starts the second half. Eurista Chico had it knocked away out that far side. It's a throw in for Butler. Weyer looking to direct it. And it's taken by Butler once again. Here comes Vitico. Sent ahead, has Weyer inside the box, just off her left foot. This one directed, and Rischenberger is going to come out and make the play. Jamie Rischenberger stopped 3 shots in that first half. Had 6 saves in the win against Schoolcraft, Butler's first game of the tournament. 3-0 victory. This one played out for Butler. Now, if you're already thinking overtime, I like to think ahead too. If you're already thinking overtime, of course, this game cannot end in a tie. Someone has to advance. They'll play 2 overtime periods, from what I understand. Golden goal, of course. Why not? And then if still we do not have a winner, they'll go to shootouts, which is always an exciting affair. Punched along. Headed forward by Jacqueline Mean. She had a goal yesterday against Schoolcraft. This ball bounding and unable to steer it in bounds is Colleen Howland, the freshman from Wichita, Kansas for Butler. So a toss in for Caroline Vieira. Jenna Wade sent into the box. Rischenberger. Looks like a punt returner out there as she catches that one in the chest. And her kick short. You can already see the wind just take that ball and knock it down. Normally for Jamie, that ball is well across midfield, but a heavy wind now blowing from right to left across your screen. Blowing to the north side of the field, and it's like a jet stream now. It started off calm and has picked up as the day has gone on. We had some rain blow through this morning in Melbourne on my drive in. I was a little nervous if we were going to get started on time or not. But just as we got ready to get on the air, the heavens cleared. The soccer gods said play on, and, well, the first 45 minutes were quite eventful. Rischenberger again, and you can already see, yes, it's the wind that does affect this offense quite a bit. Darton State, only 3 shots in that first half already. They've tested Rischenberger lightly a couple of times. Here comes Butler. Darton State's, that's Fisher make that, who had it for a moment. Eurista Chico on the run. Wind doesn't bother her as she rolls it in. Moisio dives on it. On the run there, Kelly Hophius. This one punted down. Valcourt waits. Out of bounds it comes. And a throw in for Colleen Howland. Jenna Wade has it knocked away. Eurista Chico looking to settle it. Fisher harasses her. Little push there from Eurista Chico is going to get whistled for a foul. Ball will go back to Darton State. This Darton team, champions of Region 17, they brought home their 8th Region 17 championship in program history. They've been kept off the board in the first half, something they're not really used to. 9th in the nation in goals this year, 84 entering the tournament. Had a pair against Schoolcraft as well to make it 86 on the year. And already a substitution for head coach Ken Valens. Checking into the game, Maggie Van Heusen. Coming out, Danny Weyer, a forward for a forward. The sophomore from Fort Walton Beach out. Actually, both of them hail from the Sunshine State and Fort Walton Beach. Vieira to toss it in. Valcourt settles. 3 defenders around her, and Howland will knock it down the near side. Played up near the top of the box. It was Britt Evans that couldn't quite get a handle on it. Nicely touched, and Zimmer is going to push it up the far side, harassed by Evans, trying to run her off the ball, and Eurista Chico will send it ahead where Darton State collects. The Cavaliers will go back on the attack. Evans looking to sidestep the defender, couldn't do it. Zimmer played it well. She's looked good in the first game and a half. Going to toss in for Fisher. Van Heusen lofts it to the right side. This one offsides. They were looking for Britt Evans. So Darton State already with the substitution. You look at Ken Valens, the head coach for this Cavaliers team. He's hanging out, sitting on the Gatorade cooler out there directing his team. Normally you see him patrolling that sideline, but he's taking a calm and patient approach. You have to in this sort of a game where both of these teams have been pretty conservative. Evans looking to feed it inside to Van Heusen, couldn't do it. Fernandez looking to send this ball ahead. This is a good chance, an opportunity here. This is Jacqueline Means on the run, harassed by a defender. Means able to get her way around and send it over to Hofius, who scores. Krista Moisio diving at the feet of Jacqueline Means and couldn't quite corral the ball. It was sent over to Kelly Hofius. She's on sides. This one will count. It's 1-0 Darton State. Means. Correction, 1-0 Butler, that is. And Jacqueline Means able to get it over to Paige Aki, who scores the goal. So Aki picks up the goal there. Her 20th of the season. And Butler takes the 1-0 lead. And into the wind there. The Grizzlies able to score. Aki hits the turf. Adam Hunter, the head coach of the Grizzlies, wanted a call there, didn't get it. Sent ahead to Evans, knocked back. Darton once again on the attack. Here's Wade, Evans. Here come the Grizzlies again. Eurista Chico playing this one long. She's on sides. And that one spoiled out the touchline. Let's take another look at this one where Jacqueline Means was able to get around Moisio, steer it to Paige Aki, and she found the back of the net. Paige was quiet in that game against Butler, did not score a goal, but gets her first of the tournament here. And it could be the one that sends her team to semifinal Friday. Corner kick for Butler. Their third of the game, this one in the middle of the box. On the right side, still loose. This shot off the top of the crossbar and cleared out by Darton. This almost was 2-0 Butler. Zimmer looking to keep the momentum for the Grizzlies. Eurista Chico on the far side. Working left, this one cleared out. Evans on a long run trying to hunt it down, and it steered out the far side. Let's take a look at that last cross as it's sent in by Means. This one headed loose, and a sliding attempt here, deflected. I believe that was Lexi Clark who got a foot on it. Butler could very well have a 2-0 lead right now. Howland looking to feed inside to Jacqueline Means. That one, Darton State clears away. Under 35 minutes to go in the second half. It's 1-0 Butler. The girls from El Dorado, Kansas, have an early lead. Colleen Howland will toss it in. Jenna Wade surveying. Trying to find some room, looking to feed it to that far side. Eurista Chico ball hawking out there, almost took it away. That went out to the far sideline. So all of Butler's goal scorers getting involved here in the first 2 games. In the win over Schoolcraft, we saw Jacqueline Means net her 17th of the year. Here's a long ball. Rischenberger will pick it up. Valcourt on the run there. Darton's going to need to take a couple of shots here now that they're down 1-0. Going to have to try to use the wind to their back to their advantage. Rosa Eurista Chico scored a goal as well. Lauren Allen. All double-digit goal scorers, and now Paige Aki leads the team with 20 goals after netting that last one. That's 24, number 20. Substitution for Darton. Coming into the ball game, that's Haley Knowles, the defender from Tampa, Florida. A little bit of room here for the Cavaliers to work. Nicely played Weyer, just a little too far out in front. Here comes Darton again. Looking for Weyer, can't find her. Vitico. Need to feed to the right side, and Butler's defense once again says no. Nicole Fisher trying to hunt it down. Aki harasses her. This is Lexi Clark. Had the ball go off the crossbar on her on that last cross. Nearly made it a 2-0 game. Here's Knowles freshly into the game. Over to Vieira on the near side. She crosses midfield. Looking for Valcourt, who stumbled. The ball out the near sideline. Who touched it last? Darton State will get the throw in. It's off Butler. So you look at the ball off the crossbar. The offside's on Lauren Allen. And this could easily be 3-0 Butler to go along with the Paige Aki goal. And a free kick for Darton with the wind as well. Very reachable for Vieira. Her left-footed shot near the top. Ball loose, Valcourt there. This one squirts out to her through her legs. And now once again, here come the Grizzlies. Jacqueline Means able to take it back for Darton State. Bounding ball, Weyer had it eat her up and bounce by. And the clearance kick will be Fisher, who was able to play it back again. Here comes Fisher. One touch to Van Heusen. Butler takes control once again. That wind, you see Darton State still trying to figure out how best to play it. Fisher trying to hunt it down, she does. To the middle of the field. Vitico sends it down. Here's a misplay, and Valcourt might have an opportunity. Can she hunt this one down? It's a long run. Valcourt will go get it. Butler's defense able to recover a bit, and this one played well by Colleen Howland out the near side. Valcourt the long run, but a high bounce there, and Vieira will get it on the toss in. Here's a long shot, this one bending Rischenberger up, but it's over the top of the crossbar. Jenna Wade pulling the trigger there. She had a goal in the win against Schoolcraft yesterday. Let's take another look at that last miss. Wade from downtown trying to bend this one in there. Rischenberger went up, but that one not much of a threat. 1-0 lead, Darton State, 30-minute mark, second half. If this score holds, the Grizzlies, with this 1-0 lead, that is, 1-0 Butler, will move on to Friday's game. Rischenberger taking her time here. She's going to make Darton State run a player at her, so she has to pick it up. So already the mindset from Butler to run this clock a little bit, and you can't blame them. One may be enough, as I said at halftime. You beat one of these goalies, it's going to be tough to try to get one on your side. Moisio and Rischenberger have both had a lot of success this year. This ball bounding down, and once again, Rischenberger is going to play the same game here. And it's picked up. Long ball from Rischenberger, hung up by the wind, makes it only about 40% down the field, and it's played back again. Kick to the far side. I mean, this wind is relentless right now, blowing down the field. Substitution into the ball game, Kelly Hofius for Darton State. Rosa Urista Chico will take a seat for the Grizzlies. In for them, Lauren Allen. Jenna Wade trying to find some real estate. She does, coming to the near side, sends it to Vieira. Can she run this ball down? No, cannot get there. Just a little bit too much on it from Wade. Vieira would have been able to gain control of it. She would have had a little bit of room to run. Throw in for Darton State. Valcourt trying to flick it over. Nicely played. This is Honorstig. And back in control of the Grizzlies. Erica Guernsey sending it ahead. This is Aki. Back to the middle of the pitch. And sent ahead by Guernsey. Vitico sending it along. Hofius battling there. Butler able to clear it away, and they're going to call a handball. Yes, right up in the middle third here. So maybe another chance for Darton State. This will be a free kick for Darton State as they trail 1-0, 26:40 to go here in the second half. Looks like Honorstig will handle this. Her kick, line drive. Rischenberger able to slide in and make the play. Well done. You let that one bounce and it gets a little bit difficult. Rischenberger comes out and makes the play, keeps this a 1-0 game. Joanna Honorstig from Stockholm, Sweden, put a nice charge into it. 50-50 ball won away by Butler, but they steer it out the far side. Let's take another look at that charge by Honorstig at the top. Well placed. If Rischenberger can't get there, that one might find the back of the net based on the angle. Sent ahead, they're looking for Hofius. Another long ball. Valcourt heads it, that is, towards the side of the box. Thought maybe she'd get Hofius to go on the back door there. Couldn't do it. And Rischenberger will collect and once again kick this one away. So those from Butler in good moods now. Their Grizzlies up 1-0. Valcourt gets a piece of it. Lauren Allen trying to step in there, couldn't do it. Kinchala coming to the near side looking for Vieira. And and just sent it too long. 20 minutes gone by, second half, 25 minutes to play. It's 1-0. The leaders, the girls from El Dorado, Kansas. Butler, the Grizzlies, on a goal from Paige Aki, her 20th of the season. Assisted by Jacqueline Means, picked up her 16th assist of the year. Here's Jenna Wade. Probing for a chance, sends into Valcourt. That one turned away. Back to Darton State, and the pass misplayed. And a foul called up high near midfield. This will go back to Darton State. Let's see where they'll place this, just outside of the middle circle. Vieira will handle this one. As she lines it up, 5 players topped across the top of the box. This one, Honorstig tried to settle it down, couldn't do it. Lauren Allen controls. Darton will send it in. This ball too long, and Rischenberger will take control, and immediately Darton State will run Kelly Hofius at her to make her pick it up and kick it away again. Aki couldn't control. Sent over. Butler clears again. Grizzlies looking to protect this 1-0 lead. Ball headed away. Jenna Wade. Vieira. As Kinshala to her right, will keep it herself. Changes directions. Surveys. Sends to the middle of the field where Jenna Wade is. That was a good look. Back inside. That intended for Hofius, but Butler taking it away. Vieira. Little interception of her own. Here's Kinshala surveying. Centers up to the top. To that far side. This is Van Heusen. Honorstig. Her shot. Rischenberger, another catch out in front of the goal. Darton State having a difficult time getting inside of the box. They've been able to play it on the top there. A couple of free kicks as well, but Rischenberger has stood up to the test. This ball flicked ahead. On the run, Lauren Allen. It's played back to Moisio. This is Jacqueline Means. She set up the only goal of the game. To the touchline. Centered up high. This one is shot that finds the back of the net. It's 2-0 Butler. Lexi Clark with her 11th goal of the year. It gives the Grizzlies a 2-0 advantage with 21:52 to go in the second half. Means her second assist, and it's a beauty. To the middle. Clark one time and is able to beat Moisio. Well played by Butler. As I mentioned, the goal for Lexi Clark, number 11 on the year. Second goal of the game for Means. She has 18 on the season. And the Grizzlies, little under 22 minutes away from advancing to the semifinal Friday match. Ball ahead, Darton State trying to start it quickly and answer. To the near side, Kinshala runs it down. Let's take a look at that beauty from Clark one more time. Means the center. Right on time to Clark, who was waiting there, timed it well, and not much Moisio could do. Hofius. Van Heusen. This back defensive line for Butler has been good. Some contact there. They say play on. This one ahead for Paige Aki out the far side. So through the first 45 minutes, this game's scoreless, Butler and Darton State. And in a little under 25 minutes here in the second half, we've seen a pair of goals from the Grizzlies. Paige Jackie struck on her 20th of the year to give it a 1-0 advantage, Butler. And just moments ago, Lexi Clark found the back of the net to give the Grizzlies a 2-0 advantage. The girls from El Dorado, Kansas. They're in business here as Darton State controls. Aki looks to direct to the middle of the pitch. Takeaway for Butler. This one played along. Lauren Allen on the run. One-on-one with Moisio, a defender to the right. This ball kicked up. Both the defender goes down. This one's ushered in by Jacqueline Means. A pair assists and a goal now for Jacqueline Means. It's 3-0 Butler. And a player down for Darton State. That's Danny Maidment. Here's the long run for Allen. Moisio comes out, makes the play, but both of them tripped up on it, and Means with an easy rebound and a putback. Danny Maidment still down, the freshman from England. She was the defender that was harassing Lauren Allen, who was making the run to the net and was taken out by her own goalie. Let's take a look one more time at this last goal. Here's Allen on the run. You see Maidment tripped up, and Jacqueline Means able to easily steer it in, and Maidment still down. It was her own goalie, Moisio, with the takeout slide, trying to stop Lauren Allen. And Maidment sitting up now, but Darton State trailing 3-0. The Grizzlies coming away with 3 goals in a little under 25 minutes here in the second half to take full control of this game. Our first of 4 here on day 3. And Maidment will walk off under her own power. That was a tough collision there as the Cavaliers were looking to stop the 3rd goal of the game for the Grizzlies. Unable to do it. For Jacqueline Means, it's her 18th goal of the year, 2nd of the tournament. She had one in the victory over Schoolcraft as well. And in back-to-back games, the Grizzlies have scored 3 goals. And the other storyline unfolding now, Jamie Rischenberger is working on her nation-leading 18th shutout. So after the goal, Darton State will get their touch to continue this one, and it's played back to Honorstig. This game 1 of the day, immediately following this one, 6th-seeded Lewis and Clark will play 3rd-seeded Iowa Central. Van Heusen looking to turn the corner, sent ahead, looking for Hophius, couldn't find her. Back out to Van Heusen. Zimmer, the defender for Butler, trying to get the stop, and upended is Van Heusen. They say play on. Butler takes control. Immediately following Lewis and Clark and Iowa Central, we'll see 2nd-seeded Tyler play 7th-seeded Monroe. Hophius on the right side of the box looking for a chance. She is knocked off the ball, and they'll say that went off a Darton, make that a Butler player, and we'll see the 2nd corner kick of the game for Darton. Moraine and Monroe, making Monroe and Tyler will play later today, and then Pima and Eastern Florida, the 1-8 matchup. Honorstig will handle the corner kick, plays it short. Back out to Honorstig, who settles. Sends this one in, headed up over the top of the net. Waiting there was Kinchala, and she just sent that one too high. 18:41 left, second half, 3-0 Butler. The Grizzlies have erupted for 3 goals in 20 minutes in the second half. Colleen Howland. Lexi Clark. She scored a goal here. This is Zimmer. Correction, that was Amy Straith that sent it ahead, and this one's going to end up with Kizada on the near side. Her center, back up to the top, cleared away by Darton. Howland to toss it in. Lauren Allen played well, finds a little bit of room at the top, but couldn't settle the ball. That ball out the far side. Lori Thies, the freshman from Bel Air, Kansas, couldn't quite keep up with that one. It's a toss in for Darton State, flicked ahead, and a foul called on that 50-50 shot. Ball out the far side, substitution for Darton State. Honor Steek will come out. The newcomer into the game, Jenna Wade, who sends this one up high. This one played well to the left side, giving a run with Cheyenne Colvin for Darton State, but Rischenberger came out and made the play. High bounding ball, Valcourt fighting for it, but Quezada able to back her down. Ends up with Colvin, one touch. Played long, this one for Colvin. Will it settle on the near sideline? No, that off the foot of the Cavaliers, so a throw in for Butler. Sydney Bishop playing that one a little bit too long. Lauren Allen has it poked out by Vieira as she tried to sidestep her. Colleen Howland using a little bit of extra time there to go get the other ball. Lexi Clark. Back touch, Vieira, Bishop. Quezada harasses there, and this one sent into the midfield on the near side. This one played long. They were looking once again for Cheyenne Colvin, the Albany, Georgia native, and she couldn't get there. Vieira's toss in. They're looking for Hofius, couldn't find her. Lauren Allen fighting for it here with Knowles. Valcourt trying to get it over to Wade. Instead, we'll send it to Colvin. She sends it to the middle of the pitch, and this ball will roll all the way out to Rischenberger, and she once again is going to just wait for Hofius to run her down and then pick it up. Under 15 minutes to go, second half. Butler, a 3-0 lead over Darton State. We appreciate you joining us here on NJCAA TV. Nick Runowitz in Melbourne, Florida. Day 3 of the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships. 12 teams will have one champion after Saturday. Quezada after Valcourt hits the turf. Surveying, Valcourt catches up and pressures her and cues it out the near side. The wind, a big storyline in this one. The weather as well. Heavy rain. Before we got started here at the Titan Soccer Complex on the Melbourne campus of Eastern Florida, but it cleared up just as we were about to get on the air at 10 o'clock this morning. about 20 minutes before. Ball on the left side of the box. This one controlled by Butler, coming out Moisio, and she'll pick it up. That was Cherie Molina for Butler, who couldn't quite settle it down enough. Theus, the header, controlled by Butler. Molina will send it out to the far side. That is where Zimmer is, and she misplayed it, knew it immediately. Sent it out the far sideline, and it'll go back to Darton State. A couple of newcomers for the Cavaliers. Ivy Booker into the ball game, as well as Britt Evans. Darton State bringing in another forward and a midfielder. Ball out of bounds, and Butler will throw it in. One more substitution, this one for Butler. Into the game for Butler is Emily Woods. Taking a seat, that's Clark, Lexi Clark, who will sit down. Picked up her 11th goal of the year in that 3-goal swing in just about 20 minutes earlier in the half. Here's a toss in for Darton. Fans, we want to remind you that you can follow all the action of the 2015 NJCAA Women's Soccer National Championship live on NJCAA TV. Just go to www.njcaaatv.com to view live and archive video of each game. Relive all the exciting plays and great memories of this year's tournament by visiting www.njcaaatv.com. Those from El Dorado, Kansas, you're going to want to go on, relive this second half. 3 goals in 20 minutes. A chance, if it stands, in the next 11 and a half minutes to move on to semifinal Friday. Goals from Paige Aki, Lexi Clark, and Jacqueline Means. This one ruled offsides. Vieira feeds to Valcourt. Long run for her. Can she get to it? Yes. Plays it off the defender on the near side. Howland had it deflect out of bounds. And Valcourt to toss it in. Controlled by Ivy Booker and lost. Quezada looking for Lauren Allen. She steers it just inside the chalk. Her centering pass. Theus up high in the box. Looking for Quezada, sends it behind her. Instead on the left side, there's a chance for Butler. Here's a shot, deflected back out. Right back to the shooter. And this ball played to no one. Emily Woods up there had her shot rejected. She got another chance and went with the selfless act, just didn't have a teammate there. Molina. Cherie sends it over to Madison Zimmer. Up ahead, Quezada. One touch to the far side. Here's a long run. This one's centered, but it went out of bounds. That was Theus out there. Maybe one more step, and she could have steered it in. Krista Moisio will kick this one away. 10-minute mark, second half, 3-0 Butler. Darton State needs to get moving if they want to rally here. Sent long. This ball for Britt Evans. She's got a chance here up at the top. Rischenberger, it's blown off sides. Evans, the freshman from Atlanta, Georgia. Just a step behind Howland there. And this will go back to Butler. Molina looking to set the table, sending it in. It is rejected by the Cavaliers. Here's Jenna Wade. Bishop sends it ahead. Hofius. No one in the area code there. And Rischenberger once again is going to take her time. Van Heusen will run at her. And Rischenberger picks it up. Another outstanding performance from Jamie Rischenberger, the Wichita, Kansas native. This her 23rd game. She's allowed just 9 goals with another 8.5 minutes to go in this game. Is working on her nation-leading 18th shutout of the year. Think about that. 23 games, 18 shutouts. In only 5 occasions this year. If this one finishes in the final 8 minutes to be a shutout, that is, will the team have scored a goal? Butler with a few substitutions. Pearl Imperial checking in from Imperial, California. Darton chips it in once again. Rischenberger to pick it up. Valcourt heads it back. Vieira patrols there, waits for it, has it roll out the near sideline, and Vieira comes up hobbling. She's in a little bit of pain. They're going to stop play while she walks this off. Came down awkwardly, and Vieira wants to run it off. Substitution for Darton State. Vera Vitico checking in. This one played to the corner. Centered on the backside. Butler had something cooking there for a moment, but this ball played back long. Grizzlies able to hunt it down. Adam Hunter going with a few of his reserves here, finding some fresh legs late. Hophius. A little bit of chance. They play it over to Evans, and she can't corral it. It's cleared away by the Butler defense. Darton State regains. Looking for Hophius. This is a long ball, and she can't catch up to it. Kelly Hophius looks a little tired there. She's been out there a long time in this one. Couldn't quite catch up to that ball. Evans. Nice move, Evans. She's into the open court here. Down the pitch she comes. Rischenberger able to dive on top of it, and Evans may have just played a little bit too far out in front as she got into the open field and couldn't quite steer it in. Let's take a look at this opportunity again. Darton State in need of a goal here, and that ball just got away from Britt Evans, and Jamie Rischenberger able to dive on top of it. And I'm sure I've beaten this theme to death a bit, but that wind as well helping that ball roll away from the forward from Atlanta, Georgia, Britt Evans. Here's a throw in. Quezada. Molina couldn't quite get to it. Taken away by Jenna Wade. Vieira, that's a miscue there, but fortunately for Darton State, it's played back forward. And Butler will regain at the far sideline. Under 5 minutes to go, second half. 3-0, Darton make that Butler. Grizzlies with 3 goals here in the second half. This was a scoreless game at halftime, and it looked like the first one to find the back of the net might be the only one. Well, I guess that's still true, though I did not think that Butler was going to do it another 2 times after that. First goal of the game scored by Paige Aki was set up well by Jacqueline Means, who also has a goal to her name, a pair of assists. A nice night for the sophomore from Wichita, Kansas, who is committed to play at K-State next year. Will be the first year K-State is playing Division I soccer, and they'll have Jacqueline Means on their roster. The other goal to Lexi Clark, the freshman from Wichita. Kinchala sending this one in, and that one too long, looking for Honorstig. Rischenberger will set this up again. 3.5 to go. The game immediately following ours. This one of 4 today. Will be Lewis and Clark against Iowa Central, the 6th seed. A win for Iowa Central. They're in on Friday. For Lewis and Clark, they lost yesterday to Laramie. Ball on the right side of the box, sent long and well over the top of the goal. So Lewis and Clark will need a win, and to win big to cover the goal differential. Iowa Central +3 after a 3-0 win on Monday. Lewis and Clark lost 3-1 to Laramie. So Laramie, sitting there idle, needs a Lewis and Clark win. And what I would think to be a 1-0 finish. This one on the right side. Butler looking for some more. They say play on. Ball in the corner. Good battle here. And Darton State ends up with it. Sent up the far side. Little over 2 minutes to go in the second half. Cavaliers perhaps down to their last 2 minutes of their season here. Deflected ball headed in Quezada. Little back touch, will flick it forward, and it's played back to Moisio. Quezada, for a moment, it looked as if she was going to have a shot at that, but Moisio clears it away. Honorstig, one touch. Kinchala. 1:45 left. Good touch to Honorstig at the top of the box. And a nice defensive play made there by Butler. That was Erica Guernsey who stepped on it. Ball into the box, and Rischenberger will come back up with it. She has been Teflon today. Just to finish up the schedule for the day, Monroe will play Tyler, a 7-2 matchup in our third game. Top overall seed and host team Eastern Florida will play 8-seeded Pima in the finale on day 3. That'll be our 12th game in 3 days. Howland, under a minute to go. Butler on its way to semifinal Friday. This ball centered in. Darton State will play it back to Moisio. This ball bounding out of bounds with half a minute to go. And we'll see Howland throw it in one more time. Butler is going to advance to Friday, a well-played game. The second half couldn't have gone any better for Adam Hunter and his Grizzly squad as they score 3 goals in a span of the first 25 minutes of the second half to put this one away. And that'll take us to the end of the second half. Butler advances to Friday, 3-0, the final over Darton. Goals by Paige Ackey, Jacqueline Means, and Lexi Clark. The Grizzlies are 21-2. Darton State falls to 16-3. That'll bring us to the end of our broadcast here. Once again, Butler in. Darton season is over. Coming up next, Lewis and Clark will take on Iowa Central, the 6-3 matchup here from Melbourne, Florida. You're watching the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships on NJCAA TV.